Hello, stoners. Long time no see. So recently, I did a video showing us playing some tabletop D&D in this very room that I have cleaned recently of my son's teenage crap and turned it into our gaming room. Behold, its amazingness. So, last time you saw our gaming group, our adventurers for Dungeons and Dragons, the murder hobos. We had acquired somehow a pyramid ship that we're flying around and attempting to save the civilians in this city that's about to be overrun by hordes of giants that are migrating in this direction. And we've chosen to save them. And we discussed how we have another city that's empty. Well, I thought I would share with you how this all happened. My brother Richard ran his first campaign as DM, and he did the Crystal City adventure, which turned out to be about a month and a half, like every weekend for 4 to 6 hours. And it was a lot and it was mostly just grinding through and getting levels. And his story was thus. Behold down here. Okay. We are stoner D&D players. It is our tradition. It's not yours, it doesn't have to be. Anyway, just ours. Birthday is. It was our thing. So Devnin, as you can see, I've drawn some pictures of him here, was still is very much a goofy, awkward, young bard with not as much talent as he'd like to think he has. But he's much more confident after this long adventure we had. You see, now the Tiefling has wings and is the celestial thing, and is in charge of this huge city. And how this happened was, sorry for my crappy drawings, you'll have to just deal with this. This is the best way I can tell the story. How this happened was that we had gone back to the city after Rapana, and we were literally plucked, kidnapped out of our beds in our hotel room. And when we awoke, and the bard had bought this beautiful flippin' wagon that he had all set up with a little stage on the front and, little signs advertising the kind of thing he did. Nice little fireplace on the inside, little freaking tiny home, trailer he had. He had the Tiefling watching his wagons with hers that she had newly purchased. And lo and behold, we wake up in this stupid room, and it has 4 doors, one on each wall around us, an assortment of weapons and food and things to keep us happy. And in order to leave the room, we had to pass through one of the doors. In the center of the room, there was a glowing red gem. Well, the Tiefling was in the gem with my wagons and all my cool stuff I just bought, when I was not happy about that. And when we passed through the doors, we would end up in these random dungeons with random creatures just sort of munching on cows or something, that they've been fed, and it seemed to be just there for us to fight. And we had to just keep going, room by room by room, going up in level, endlessly. Adventure after adventure, like 3 different encounters, beholders and frost giants and every freaking thing you could possibly think of. Plus, we got some cool magical items out of it. The Tiefling was frozen, trapped inside the gem. We each had a red gem that was somehow associated with the gem the Tiefling was trapped inside. And it glued, it glowed more and more as we gained abilities and powers, as we grew in level and taking on all these freaking monsters every time. And then, it was random. We'd go through a door, we'd end up in an adventure. We'd end up in an adventure, we'd end up in an adventure, we'd end up back in the restroom. Or restroom, it was just random. And so we had to keep doing it over and over and over. This is the restroom with the weapons and the gem in the middle, and we had our bedrolls, you know, luckily, that we could lay out, and some change of clothing, food, and, you know, things, you know, so you could relax. Artwork of battle on the ceiling. We're like, where in the hell are we? Trapped in some dimensional, you know, pocket. Caught in this continual cycle of battle and rest, battle and rest. Finally, the last room we emerged was some sort of an arena, and spectral, you know, warriors came out and fought us. And we took them on, and there seemed to be these glowing beams in the back, as though they were, you know, coming over the wall and turning into these warriors and attacking us. And they were just kind of spectral and stuff, and we had to battle them, and there was a billion of those guys. And then we were able to get through the door, and it turned out this was the way out. And we found ourselves in the Crystal City. Investigating the Crystal City, we found roaming undead, spectral citizens that just seemed to be a ghostly remnant of a city that was once here, and a throne room with a chair. After inspecting the chair, we discovered that the gem fit into the chair. We were able to turn it, but nothing seemed to happen, and it wasn't until we got the tiefling to sit in the chair did we discover that that triggered everything and made her the ruler of this now under siege city, because apparently there were large groups of roaming undead for some reason. The tiefling had come out of the gem now with wings, sort of like a butterfly out of a cocoon, with new abilities. And these new abilities made her, was part of the ritual that gave her the ability to become ruler of this city. But it's empty and filled with undead and weird kind of ghost guys that are just kind of wafting around, pretending like the city's still, like, I'm Mr. Blacksmith, and you just kind of like whoosh them out of the way, you know. Here's kind of the spectrally looking guards. Finally, we discovered that the hordes of undead, which the city was now awake once the tiefling took power, were attacking the city, and that the tiefling and we had been captured by some, you know, like lich dude with a flying pyramid and a horde of undead, and he was like letting them out of these portable holes. So he just opened a portable hole, and a bunch of undead would swarm out, and he'd just sort of infect the city with them. So finally, we were able to make our way onto the pyramid ship that was floating in the harbor in like a bubble of air underwater outside of the city, and battle him and all his minions and take over the ship. Here's the ship floating in the water, and we had to teleport into it. Okay, so now we're kind of badasses compared to the way we were before when we came out of Rapah Nathuk, because of the continual loop of battles we had to go through, and raising our levels up was part of the ritual. And now, new members are joining our group. For instance, Thos, the lizard female cleric, which is very off-putting for some of the other characters. And the tiefling now rules the city and really can't hang out with us anymore. So the bard was offered a place in the city and immediately found a lovely restaurant bar, hotel, and took it over and is now looking for employees to work. You know, this new bar and restaurant that he's gonna, you know, run, and this is his retirement plan and how he'll become famous in the Tiefling's new city. But there's no one here but these spectral assholes, and we need citizens. Hence, why we need to help this city and evacuate its people off to the Tiefling's new city and offer them an opportunity to just sweep out the why am I talking to this? To sweep out the spectral dudes and take over their ship. So I'll show you, I worked on the pyramid ship, and I mean ballistas and fucking everything. I want you to see this. Okay, so let me spin this so we don't get sick. Okay, so here is a pyramid ship. And this was a bitch to build. Okay, so like, this guy right up here, this is that, this is a spectral dude that's like, kind of, I don't know, undead sort of ghost. And he's our pilot. And he was the pilot when we took over the ship, so we made the deal with him that he would continue to be the pilot. I thought that was a really good idea. So we have like a spectral pilot. This is like a little box room at the top of the pyramid. The second level of that is an observation deck. This third level is the secondary battle deck. Let's turn that. Okay, so I made ballista because my brother showed me how to do it. Okay, so here's my ballista, and this level has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ballista and 2 catapults to fire at enemy ships all around. So imagine how much of a crew we're going to need. Okay, so here's the ballista. Boop. That's how it works. So it uses rope as the spring. Right? Same principle for the catapults. And these are weapons that if you knew how to craft them, you could do it pretty quickly out in the field. Right? Okay, so I'm like, holy crap, we're going to need crews to run this. And look, the second level's even bigger. So the second level of our pyramid ship has 1 ballista in the center and then 2 catapults on either side. So there's my catapults. And that's just using rope. Yeah, don't you squish out. I was thinking, man, can you imagine like a misfire with these things? They were giant, there was splintered wood flying around, you get clocked in the freaking head. Wow, that one must have been, whenever you roll a 20 on that thing, that'd hurt. So there's the catapult. So you fire this, right? So here you have a bank of 3 guns, 2 guns at the top, and on one side you've got double ballistas, so triple ballistas, and on the other side you got 2 ballistas and triple, catapults, depending on what kind of fire, I guess, you would need against what kind of ship. Now we were leading people up the gangplank here to the cargo bay, which is right here, right? And that's how we're going to rescue them. And then down below is all these like cells that are like rooms. Like you can have a room where it's have a wizard shoot at. Like I was saying, maybe my brother could have. Take this away. Maybe my brother could have like the giants attack the pyramid, which is floating in the air. A wizard could just step out and be fucking blasting them, and there'd be like freaking all these just firing off, you know. Now, this really interesting thing about this ship is there's a secondary pilot seat here in the middle, and you got to imagine this centerpiece is not here. This is open. It looks down into the cargo bay below. So you got to. This is just a gangplank that the things should sit on it. This is not here. I'm not going to cut it out. Okay, so like this is like a square. rectangle that, or not rectangle, you know, the square tube that runs all the way down to the bottom, and that's how you climb up into the secondary pilot seat. So there's two helms to the ship. There's one in the top of the pyramid, and there's one right at the center. And how people get up into these levels is so interesting. I tried to put these sort of sticks to represent sort of like Jeffrey's tubes that you're going to have to run up. Like this runs all the way to the pilot, this runs to this level, then you got to run to the next one, then go to here, then there's this another one on that side that goes up to here, and then there's only one that goes up to here, and one, so fewer ladders the higher up you go. If I was doing a battle, I thought I would move up higher, because that would be less openings you would have to defend as you went up. Tighter space. They couldn't get there, but they could take over the whole bottom of your pyramid. Because we're thinking the DM is going to try to take this thing away from us. Look how badass it is. So we're worried. That the DM is going to try to take our new toy away from us. Anyway. So I will smoke Il Bolo. My new necklace pipe. And I just wanted to do this as sort of a adventuring update on what is going on with our characters. Desmond is, you know, really thinking he's coming up with a real catalog of music now. About so much of it just bravado and badly done, badly written, badly sung. You know, he's not really a great bard. But he's become quite a badass in the fights. He's doing good there. And the monk is starting to want to leave our group because the monk is a good character and he's thinking that we're not so good, especially wanting to kidnap a whole, like rescue people to a place where they may have the option of leaving and certainly won't be able to vote for the leadership because Tiflin is somehow magically imbued to be the leader of this city no matter what. And I don't see how, if I was a citizen and my city was just getting wiped out, I wouldn't want to go prancing off into that kind of an arrangement. That would be like, no. So we're going to see how this goes. But I mean, you know, options are few for our party. I filmed a lot of the last adventure, but it took like a month and a half, and it was hours and hours, and mostly it was just the same rooms over and over with different monsters and different tactics. It was a really just basic dungeon grind, really no story. Sometimes little Easter eggs would open up, but that was about it. We'd get a new weapon or something, or more healing potions. But it was basically just a slog, level to level to level, until we got up high enough that the adventures now are more interesting. We got a pyramid ship. Adios. So that's my update. So, peace out. Take care. Adios.